All right, and we're back. I couldn't wait another 5 minutes before taking another video, but I figured you guys would also enjoy this place that I'm in as well. This is Akihabara, as you can see from the giant Yoribashi Akiba sign. That entire thing is a department store, by the way. It's like a big camera store. Figured I would just do another video while I'm in Akiba. It's one of my favorite places in the city, obviously, being a haven for games and anime and tech and all that sort of stuff. But I've been here a billion times, so I figured why not just actually document this. So we're gonna make our way down the platform, and hopefully you can hear me at all during any of that. But gonna make our way down to the Electric Town Gate, as it said on the sign. Akiba is also known as Electric Town, obviously due to all of the tech-related stuff going on here. Central Gate and the Chuo-Dori Gate and the Electric Town Gate. Actually, I think the Central Gate might make more sense. Also, do mind the, I think, screaming kid that was? I don't know. You would assume that in this country there wouldn't be as many crying kids, but no, there are about as many, if not more sometimes, I feel like, because there's sort of a social expectation not to bother other people. So if you do have a rowdy kid, then no one will do anything about it, pretty much. So that's nice. Okay, well. Actually, it might, yeah, this gate doesn't look familiar. Okay, sorry. Apologies for the random wandering. I thought I was taking the right gate. That's actually something you have to be mindful of in Japan, is depending on the size of the station, taking the wrong gate can mean like a 20-minute detour walking around the place, especially if you're in an absolutely massive station like Shinjuku or Shibuya. There's one time when I had to go to a place basically on the west side of the station, and I left from the east side, and it genuinely took like half an hour to walk across the entirety of Shinjuku to get to the station I was looking for. But seems like we're on the right track here, on our way out of the Electric Town Gate, which is the main gate for if you're here for weeaboo stuff like I am. Just tap my card. Yeah, these are if you ever traveled to Japan, these are the cards that you want to get, either a Suica or a Passmo card. These are IC cards that you can top up with money. You can use them in like convenience stores, you can use them in a lot of places, so you have a lot of options here. If you don't have a working credit card or something, it's a lot easier to just top up an IC card with money and use that. So yeah, this gate is a lot more familiar. This is the main area of Akiba. Well, this is part of it, I guess, on the side here, but actually, I guess I'll make my way this way, because this is where more of the main stuff is. So we will go this way. Yeah, Akihabara is one of the larger stations, as you can see, in the city. Definitely one that you gotta know where you're going to get out of so you're not lost. But I do tell people that in general, like, you'll get less lost than you think as long as you don't preemptively scare yourself. Like, if you go into it assuming that you can find whatever you want, then you'll be fine. But all right, let me just pull out my umbrella real quick, and we can make our way. All right, so this is Akiba. This is large. I don't even know which store to begin with. There's just so many. This was previously I believe this was a Club Sega, or maybe the Club Sega was in a different area, but there's a lot of these types of buildings in Akiba that have these kind of like translucent, sort of like tube stairs. I don't really know why. I don't know, just I guess aesthetically it makes more sense, but that store, if I can get a better shot of it, the sign, Gamers, you see there. Ironically, not a video game store. It's actually like probably the largest anime-related store in Akiba. So if you need anything anime-related, you have 2,000 shops, but if you can only pick one shop, I would say Gamers is probably a good choice, at least for the selection. Maybe you can find cheaper stuff somewhere else, but yeah, Gamers is the way to go. for not games. But yeah, obviously if you're an anime fan, you're like, wow, this is kind of crazy just to see like Evangelion and whatever that one is, just all sorts of anime just casually on billboards and signs, like some kind of weeboo otaku Times Square, and that's basically what Akiba is. So it definitely, if you have any interest in any of these things and you come to Japan, this is a requirement to come here. But I did just want to show a bit of kind of the size of it, because it does get pretty hectic. Lots of people crossing the street and stuff. Actually, unfortunately, I'm not gonna really be in Tokyo on a Sunday. I flew in on a Sunday and I'll be flying out on a Sunday. And on Sundays in Akiba, they actually shut down the streets, or like the main roads, so you can actually just freely walk around. It's a lot easier to get to stores when you're here. So, yes, we were making our way down the promenade. Yeah, all sorts of maid cafes and mobile shops, and you definitely have to have a little bit of a smart eye, because there are a few places that have overpriced things and just try to get tourists to come in. So definitely if you're in the main area here, just be a little more careful. You're better off getting a lot more deals from kind of going into these little back alleys off the beaten path a little bit. This was actually a former Club Sega. This was a former giant arcade. Actually, it still is an arcade. It's just not officially Sega anymore. They sold off their business to Geigo, or Gigo, I guess. And they just, I mean, actually I'll have to go in there later because I'm curious to see how similar it is from when I last went, but it's just not the same. Not seeing Club Sega on the sign anymore. You know, it was kind of a Akiba staple. It sucks not to see it anymore, but you know, at least the arcade's still there. And certainly if you want to go to arcades, there are a lot here. Actually, one of the best arcades in the entire city, I would say, is here. It's called Hirose Entertainment Yard, or HEY, hey. That's that one, and this is the interior of the Gigo. Yeah, that one and Mikado in Takodana Baba are like the two kind of like indie, not indie, but you know, like independently owned arcades that aren't like the big chains that I would recommend. Also, you're probably wondering, why is there Colonel Sanders in a witch outfit? I don't believe Virgo moon has passed, or whatever the fuck that astrology stuff is. That's actually because nearly every KFC in Japan has a statue of Colonel Sanders outside of it. I don't know why. And yes, KFC is very big here, if you hadn't been aware already. It's actually a Christmas tradition to get a family dinner of KFC, and you actually have to kind of order your bucket and stuff ahead of time, or else you actually can't get your KFC for Christmas. So I guess if you're trying to celebrate authentically, just make sure you order your bucket ahead of time. It's already October 9th here, so maybe now might be the best time. I actually don't know. Okay, I'm actually looking for a particular shop, and I thought I went down the right way, but I think I didn't, because this just kind of peters off into nothing. Well, you know, it's all good. We're just wandering, right? You're just happy to see any of the sights. Yeah, I think it's not that way. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I remember where this shop is, because this is a very special shop, one of the most special shops in all of Akiba, and I highly recommend anybody into video games of any kind, specifically retro games, make their way to this location that I'm going to now. You're probably wondering what it is. It's not a rainy street. It's not a random PC shop. It's not a maid cafe. It is, if you can see the sign just on the little, what's it called, the marquee here, Super Potato. It's called Super Potato. If you have not heard of Super Potato, I will show it to you. Actually, I might make a separate video that I'll record in 5 seconds here, which means I may end this video. But yeah, Super Potato, just to give a little explanation before I walk in, is probably the most iconic retro game store in all of Japan. And they don't always have the best prices, but they usually have a really good selection. If you're trying to find something in particular, you are definitely going to find you have a good chance of finding it here. It just won't always be the cheapest, especially because it's in Akihabara. Kind of ironically, if you're like really looking for a good deal, you really probably shouldn't do a lot of your shopping in Akihabara, just because a lot of it is, you know, more focused for tourists and it's a little more expensive, but it's certainly an experience to go into, so I will go into it now.